This is Sean Sport in podcast form.
A couple of Dockers players have not been offered a contract for next season. One of them is Matt Taberner, who's been around the club for a long time these days. And he is a great success story, although from Fremantle supporters and people outside the club, they're always expecting more.
He's much
of
maligned,
Matt.
isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but he was drafted like the last pick in the rookie draft. So he was... I guess
long shot,
the black
essentially.
swan.
So
the white swan.
The ugly duckling? Is that what you're
All
trying to say?
The thing about that is I would rather, as in a relationship, I'd rather leave before I'm being broken up with.
Yeah, that's a tough one. He really didn't have an opportunity to go to another club, so he had to hang in there as long as
no
No,
one
but
was
possible.
I need
asking for
to
him.
save face. I'd need to even 2 minutes before they're about to drop it, I would go, actually,
I'm
no,
playing
to be honest,
basketball."
I'm leaving. I'm leaving you.
Yeah, he's had a terrific career in the AFL and had numerous injuries along the way,
So
but he
he's
made the
delivered
most of it.
beyond where he went in the draft. Is
Yeah,
that what
and-
you're saying?
yeah,
Above and beyond. Yeah.
Can't even be measured at that part. From the outside, people go, why hasn't he been the greatest centre forward since Matthew Pavlich? But it's really unfair on him for the whole way through. He's kicked a lot of goals for Freo, and as far as a person getting the most out of themselves, which no one gets to see,
Yes.
hardest worker in the room.
Yeah.
Just got the absolute best out of himself. Ethan Hughes is another one who's done a particularly good job, and I really like it.
Legit, I've legit never heard of him.
No disrespect to either of these people. I've never heard of either of them.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
Matt
well, Tab's
Taberner
been
we know
around for a
because
long
he
time.
used to...
Taberner, that
Nathan,
rings
he
a
used to
bell.
share with Griff Logue.
Yeah,
That's what we know.
yeah,
Because when
yeah,
Griff
that's
was
right.
our docker, he talked about Matt Taberner. Yeah.
but the other guy I've not-
Ethan
I've
Hughes
not
played
heard of.
over 100 games, and I thought he's got a lot to offer. I'd find him playing at another team all day long. Yeah. He's a really good type. And the other one is, the other two is Sebit Queck, who was from East Perth, and Fremantle picked him up in like a mid-season draft, and Conrad Williams, who I was watching. I didn't know anything about Conrad, and I went down to a training session, and my young guy Ollie was having a kick one Sunday morning with him. And I thought, this is the most skillful human being I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah,
play
right.
football.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell what foot he was using. He was just picking it up and just booting it.
So what happened there then?
You got to be able to put it onto. I mean, you can have a kick in the park, but can you play in the game?
Sure.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. He can shoot, but he can't do anything else.
Couldn't putt. No, couldn't putt.
So do you think anyone will pick these guys up?
I think Sebit could be a mad chance of getting on someone's list because athletically is
Cheap
amazing.
and cheap
Ethan Hughes,
yeah.
in my opinion, he should be able to get picked up.
Yeah.
How much money were these guys on?
A couple of $100,000. I think that maybe... Matt Taberner would have had a good contract at one stage, probably not this year, but it certainly opened the door for, some younger players to come in and Fremantle's draft coming up.
Yeah.
The one person who scored big overnight that we've heard about is Mac
amazing.
Andrews. He's from the Gold Coast Suns. He's an up-and-coming star. There's no question he's a star.
So athletic. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, he's crazy good. So he signed a 5-year extension with a +4 to come as well. So if he hits certain amount of marks in his contract, it basically comes down to a 9-year deal.
Yeah.
His deal is for $12 million if he hits all the marks along his contract.
Will he?
And a lot of people say, on paper, this is the richest deal that anyone's put out there, $12 million. But I was saying to Nat, in 9 years' time, what will the AFL landscape look like then?
Yeah.
So maybe it's unders.
Yeah.
I know, but it's the longevity and the reassurance that...
Oh, no, if you go into the bank manager and you go...
Yeah,
get a load of
exactly.
But you're right though. Signing a long-term contract with today's economics,
Yes.
it doesn't foresee what's going to happen in the future, and then suddenly someone else can get signed up, and you're like making measly amount of money compared to them. It's a scary thing, but you're right. In media, in sport, that sort of stuff, if you can get a longer contract, it's
What's
the way
more
to go.
amazing about this one is that he's opted to essentially be a lifetime player at the Gold Coast Suns, and the Gold Coast Suns have struggled to get people to stay long term.
They have.
So, but that's the dimmer effect, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Mac Andrews has talked about the fact that he's really liked the vibe around the club since Dimmer's got there.
$12 million.
Yeah.
That's more than $1 million a year.
Yes.
That's insane.
Clearly.
Can you complain at all?
Well, you can if you get to year 7 or year 6.
Yeah.
And old mate up the road who's playing next year, and you're way better than he's getting.
But for 7 years,
if you're Harley Reid, right? So he's not signing less than $2 million a year in 3 years' time.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like-
But for 7 years, you can't complain.
No. But Alistair...
Because you're making over $1 million a year.
Alistair Lynch, he signed this 10-year contract to go to the Brisbane Lions and play at the Brisbane Lions. Now, no one ever signed more than 2 or 3 years in my day, and he was in my day.
So this
and
is
he
before Buddy, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so his thing was for $2 million over that period.
Over how long?
10 years.
10 years.
But that was a long time ago. It's a long time
He was
ago.
always playing for free at the end.
Yeah.
Because he was kicking, close to 100 goals and he was playing premierships left, right and
You
centre.
do want a crystal ball, don't you?
Oh, that would haunt him as well. It's the Scottie Pippen thing. We saw that in the last dance.
100%.
He paid for nothing in the end.
Yeah.
So
compared
gross.
to what everyone else was getting.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting signing those contracts. Foreseeing the future, you don't know, but you do know in, say, 2025 for the AFL, the salary cap goes up another 15-20%.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
you know that this money's out there.
They'll be having players from each club out on street corners, flogging beanies, trying to make money. Because you saw the West Coast Eagles, they've made a loss
I know
for
they've
the
got
first time.
103,000 members, though. They haven't lost members. It's
and
amazing.
they're saying that's because of how much they're paying their players. So, I mean...
No, the AFL kicks in that money, so it's got nothing to do with it at all.
Oh, that's what the article said.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely wrong, 100%. So the AFL, because some of the other clubs don't have any capital,
so they
not
would-
North
they-
Melbourne,
yeah.
so the AFL funds that kind of stuff. But yes, no, that's the first time ever. Anyway, the West Coast Eagles have got so much money in the bank, and I remember being over Rottnest with Trevor Nisbet one day, who's the CEO at the time, and West Australian put out that they had $20 million in the bank. So he got on the ferry, went back and addressed the staff to tell them this is a lie, because otherwise everyone's got their hand out.
Yes,
Hang on a second, pay me minimum wage.
But it wasn't a lie, was it?
No, it wasn't.
No.
They
I
are
love how-
rich.
and
They are
he's
so
swanning
rich.
around on a yacht off Rottnest when the news breaks.
Just in the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
just in a house.
Just in a
Okay.
house.
All right, good to know.
Sean Sport in podcast form.
Emma O'Driscoll, our
I know.
AFLW star, her brother will be playing in that game. Anyway,
They say for you, 228 games, no helmet.
yes.
What number are we up to?
Ooh, 49.
So this week it's 49 or this week's
Sorry,
50?
this weekend is 49,
Yeah.
Nat, and the following week is game number 50 for me, which I'm very excited for.
The Hawaii
amazing.
5-0.
So, Sean, let's talk about your 50th
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
first. What happened?
Yeah, I played at the MCG. We played Collingwood that day, and Chris Bond was our captain. I ran out behind him, and he said, "This is just the start." Essentially, this doesn't count. This is just the start.
Yeah.
And onwards and upwards. Because Ross Lyon used to say, you're not an AFL player unless you play 100 games.
Oh,
You haven't
okay,
got your
right.
trainer wheels off. So, this is trainer wheels off because the
Yeah.
amount of games you guys
Yeah.
get to play,
Yeah,
you're
shorter
a veteran.
seasons. Yeah.
Apparently, I did say to Sean it's equivalent to 150 male
Yeah, it
AFL
is pretty
games.
much.
I came
isn't
for
it?
it then. I was going to sweep the leg.
But anyways, no, it is quite a few years of service, so 6 years almost now, which is really exciting. So I can't wait to lace up the boots next weekend and have Mum run out with me. That'll be hilarious.
Oh, your mum's
Oh,
running
really?
out.
Oh, that's great.
What,
Yeah, it'll be
what
great.
happened? So, are you allowed to? What's the deal?
I've got a few of my friends' kids coming out with me, and then Mum's like, stuff the guard of honour. I want to run through the banner. So I'll have them. Yeah, Dad'll be in the background. He doesn't
Yeah.
like the limelight, but
That's
it'll be
great.
really fun. But no, I've got a funny story about 50th games.
Yeah.
Last year, my best friend Laura Pugh had her 50th.
Yeah.
My mum's best friend Auntie Jenny, sheep short of a paddock, we like to say. She's the best though. My mum said in the week, it's Pewey's 50th. Like, gear up. We're leaving Northam early to get down. Yep, no worries. The whole week, Mum had, boosted it up. Got to the weekend. We roll into the ground. Auntie Jenny literally comes in with a present and says, "Happy 50th birthday, Louise." Thought it was Laura Pugh's mum's birthday.
That's why you're getting there early to the game.
My
what
mum's
did
like,
she buy her?
what are these
candle.
these little like Freo boots that like stick to your windscreen. Nah. So my mum thought all
Auntie
week,
Jenny,
like, this is
lift.
a great present for Laura, celebrating her 50th.
Yes.
Turns out she thought it was Louise's birthday this whole time, and we're just like,
So, okay, does she understand what's happening next week when it's your 50th game? And we're going to have to spell
what
it
are you
out to
gonna
Auntie
we said
Jenny.
we've got to just say that it's someone else's 50th birthday because that was ridiculous.
That is
I was like, why would we be
hilarious.
celebrating at Freo Oval?
Yes, I know.
Now, the weekend's game wasn't a great one against Adelaide, although Adelaide, we talked about it earlier in the week, that Adelaide are a really good club. They've been top of the Wazza for quite some time, but The inability to score was so frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really, really hard. And obviously being out there and being a defender as well, we saw quite a bit of the ball, which was not great. It was really hard. We knew Adelaide were going to bring that. They get numbers to contest and they work so well with each other. Like I was saying to you before, Sean, that they get the ball, but then they spread so fast, they were able to handball chain out and then... really just lace out forwards. It made it really hard for us backs. And then I think if we did turn the ball over, we were just kicking to their numbers. They had spares all over the ground.
They did.
How's that possible? Did anybody actually count how many players they had on the field?
Yeah, I
would have asked for a head
How can
count.
they have an extra person in defence and in attack? That doesn't make sense.
It was either we asked for a head count or we asked for mercy rule to be put in place, I think. It was certainly really tough, but I guess we just had to stick to our game plan. We didn't want to change too much. You could go and tag Marinoff, but then Hatchard gets off the chain and you could do, vice versa. But I thought we just wanted to lock down, stick to our game plan. Unfortunately, we just couldn't nullify that spare.
No, absolutely not. Moving on to this week against Port Adelaide. Do you fly a couple of days before? Are you still the same setup?
Yep. So we have now adopted exactly what the men do. So we fly today and we'll actually go into the club for a session prior.
Yep.
Last year we were only getting one gym session in the week. So this year we're able to do 2 gym sessions, do all of our Oppo analysis this morning and get all of that out of the way so that we can virtually fly, get to Adelaide, settle in, basically do nothing.
Going to
When
go
do
and
you
watch
start?
Port
That's good.
Adelaide play the Hawks or...
Oh, I know how
Don't.
good. Half of our staff have actually got tickets. I think that is just amazing. They're like gearing up for the
perfect.
final tomorrow night. Yeah.
So when you fly into Adelaide, do you guys get free time? Are you allowed to, or is everything scheduled up until a game and then after that's free time? What's the deal?
Well, we fly home directly after a game,
Okay.
Yeah.
straight after.
Yeah.
So still wearing your boots on the plane. pretty
Yeah,
much,
of course, absolutely. We get a bit of free time on Friday, so tomorrow we'll have.
And what are you allowed
a bit of
to do
free
during
time.
that?
Get lunch.
So literally?
So eat, walk around, go see
Yeah.
what you want to see. Not many people
Go to the
venture
markets.
far from the city.
They're great. It's a great food market.
Markets, great. Okay,
Adelaide
I'll
Central Markets, they're fantastic.
Very good.
lock that in. But a couple of us have friends there, so we'll probably just see friends and family and then chill out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
wait, there's 6 years for you now. Do football players get long service leave?
Well, sorry, 6 seasons.
6 seasons?
Six
But
seasons,
Well,
yeah.
well, in a
isn't
sense,
really.
so you pay a certain amount of years, and there's
you?
money that goes into a kitty for when you retire.
Right, but it's not long service leave.
Well, that's
No, because you've got a limited window
That
of how
is-
long you can play for. You're
Yeah.
not going to
Yeah.
take a season out.
That's the
No,
byproduct.
but do you get the money for long service? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
everyone
so
gets
for
long-
Nathan wants the
example,
cash.
No,
Yeah,
I just-
deferred.
Absolutely.
It's just interesting, yeah.
Yeah, Nat's right. It's deferred. So when the men's program finishes, I don't know at the moment, but the men finish, you're paid, I'm going to say 7 years. There's a certain amount of money that's available for you when you retire right then.
Okay.
That's your long service stage.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll just call it the 3 months thing. And then after that, there's still money that can get paid for you because there's got a big pool of money that keeps generating that you can take out every couple of years as well.
What about your big pool of money, Em?
It's not existent. It's not existent.
It's coming.
Hopefully, sign another couple of years. Hopefully, it's coming. No, it's really good. Can't
Yeah.
wait to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, we're looking forward to a big performance by the Dockers against Port
Bounce
Adelaide
back.
this weekend.
Bounce back. We're ready. The redemption on Saturday at 2:30. I think it's WA time, but I always get confused with this bloody time difference. But I'm sure we'll be able to
So are
all
you
watch it on
playing
KO.
at 4 o'clock in Adelaide?
Oh no, it might be 2:30
No,
Adelaide.
you're playing at Alberton, which is Port Adelaide's home ground.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, 2:30 there because we are able to get back to
So
Perth
that's
that
one.
night.
That's 1 o'clock here.
Now, we got to let Em go because the last time she was here playing
got in
Pictionary, she got in trouble.
Did you? Were you late?
I was like, I was like, oh, how do we?
So if we can clear the
explain
freeway
this?
now, she's going to be heading down to Coburn now from here, right? Okay.
Everyone
so
get out of the way.
if you could just move across and allow Em O'Driscoll through so she
Right
doesn't
lane
get in
only.
trouble.
I was too busy drawing a bungee jump last week.
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.